would you say are the defining features of Valanga Challenge?
Valanga Challenge. Valanga Challenge is actually the things that are not really talked about is how like 80% of the chart just plays like a 17.
Yeah.
So really, that's where all that's where all the points are going to be happening. Whereas like the final 20% kind of just evens out.
Yeah, I can sort of see why, like, it's one of those where, like, if you watch the video of the chart and it was when it was originally rated a 17, you might think like, okay, sure, that kind of makes sense. And then you go to the arcade and you try to play it, and you're like, no, it does not make sense. This is not a 17. That's why it's got re-rated.
Yeah, I mean, makes sense. I mean, the crossovers and also the BPM is slightly faster than Air Hero's challenge.
It's quite fast for how many hard crossovers there are. 186 is really starting to get fast, where your crossover form has to be super clean to be able to hit those.
Although I am really excited to see this charter play, especially for the first 80%, where everybody's going to get their points in check before throwing it all out in the final 20% crossovers.
Have a blast!
We'll have to see how warmed up players are too that aren't coming up equal below.
One more thing I forgot to mention is that even though that we have these new timing features, this is a very late stage chart.
Yeah. And this is definitely one that kind of just gets harder and harder throughout the chart, I would say. Like, it's the beginning part's not so bad, but
yeah, I agree.
By the end, it's brutal.
And even though you saw those step jumps, they're actually going to appear later in the ending.
Right now, Poyo slightly ahead of Selzla, and then a decent margin between them and the other two. But it's really going to come down to that ending. Like, once you start getting into these super whippy crossovers, it could
I mean, speaking of crossovers, there was a couple of them right now.
Yeah.
But nothing too egregious. It still plays like a 17.
This groove is almighty.
Opting to double, some players opting to double step on these 3-no crossovers does kind of make sense. It's a lot of movement. And because there's that break in between, it's not so bad to double step.
But it's all over now. Now comes the crossovers.
Yeah, now we get to the really hard section.
And even with these crossovers, the 3-zeros in tow, giving you so many points that it really can go either way. And look at that first place, only
Oyo's like around there right now, and it is his big.
Oh my goodness, he took that away.
He really
took that away from everybody. Yeah.
Great job, Oyo. And very close between Andrew and Selzla for second and third.
Stage clear. You've got the moves to school the world.
Amazing start by PolloxX.
Yeah, Poyo and Selzla looked perfectly warmed up to be playing that 18. I guess, like, as things go, that chart at least starts out a little easier if you're not quite warmed up. Maybe, hopefully, by the time you get to the end of it, you're all the way warmed up. But they were looking quite strong. MDX looked like he was struggling a little more with that, which I think makes sense given what I know of his skill set. But I expect to see some really strong performances from him on some of these trickier, like 16s, like 6, and versus Akibana. And I think will be really to his strength.
Yeah, now we're getting to the thick of it. Hope you like Drum Step. Shouts to Korsuke, he was the one who made this, and was also here at Party on the Lake. Doing Andrew doing a little jig.
Yeah. Got the moves. I wish 6 is like a pretty hype song. I feel like the crowd, the players all are like always excited to play it.
I mean, if you take a look in all the other places about some like uninteresting facts, not only is this song sick as hell, but when it comes to sick, if you take a look in the jacket, there's this monster that is so grotesque. Yeah, a grotesque monster being constructed into like these little types of songs
I'll have to take a
from
look at
either
it.
songs from Eagle.
It's one of those jackets I've never really looked
Ready,
too close
set,
at.
step.
Yeah, it's all from 2DX, which is all really nice to see. But anyways, enough about that. Let's get right into it.
Sig kind of starts out a bit easier, then has some very tricky slowdown, speed up, slowdown against up the middle, and then some crossovers at the end. Yeah.
But mainly, I think the real difficulty is the slowdowns and also some really weird double steps too. But so far, players are going out strong.
Yeah, they all look really solid on this match. This is
All right, here
one where
comes
I
the
think
first
it's
slowdown.
likely to be neck and neck.
And sometimes there's some little crossovers that you'll never quite expect in this slowdown too. Yeah, see, there was another one.
Tricky rhythms throughout the slowdown, but all four of these players, I'm sure, are very confident in all these rhythms.
Yeah, everybody's so confident. Still holding on to those DSPs.
This is 100% awesome.
Very close too.
Yeah. Oh, MDX pulled ahead a little bit there on that powder.
300 combos.
Definitely still could change. But at this level, honestly, like 10x lead on a song like this is really good shape to be in.
All right, okay, here comes this very little burst.
Yeah, that pattern
Amazing.
is super rude.
All players have managed to get banned. Still holding on to their PSC. PolloxX is still holding strong, even with a couple of breaks. I think only has one break so far.
A little bit easier section here before there's some kind of tricky, broken crossovers here at the end.
Yep, this is where everything goes all out, but at least you have tons of BPM at 177.
The gap is kind of closed. MDX was about 10 ahead at one point, but now it's really almost
Oh my
neck and
goodness,
neck
it
with
really
David
is separated
Coyle
by one
and
Marvelous. Now it's a perfect. Marvelous, a great. Oh my goodness, it also
a
down.
little bit ahead. Oh, wow, Andrew clutched it out at the ends. Coming down to some of those little crossover patterns at the ends.
Even after that previous set, Andrew is not letting up.
Andrew with a clean 31 PFC. MDX had only 24, but picked up a couple great good misses at the end, and that was just barely enough for Andrew to take it.
Yeah, amazing performance by all players. Managed to, like, putting it so close, even during that entire slowdown.
Yeah. Alright, so the next time we're gonna have a random song, MAXX Experts, Fascination MAXX, and then Selzla's pick, New Millennium Challenge.
Oh boy.
Which language do you want to use?
Fascination MAXX is always I think, fun to see at a tournament. It's sort of like classic DDR boss song. I guess not quite as classic as like MAXX 300, but you know, it's from that generation right after that, Supernova. It's an exciting song. Kind of has a little bit of everything. There's a lot of trickery with the BPM gimmicks.
Fascination MAXX really was the turning point when it came to hard stuff in DDR.
Yeah.
I mean, even to this day, that 17 leans a bit on the harder side.
Yeah, for sure. It's really hard to put a good run together on it. It has so many kind of very different sections that even if you can do them all individually, it's very hard to sort of stitch them all together into a good run.
I mean, even the way how Fascination MAXX started, you can actually see within the challenge and expert and even the difficult chart of what that charter did is that they start with the challenge card first, and then they work down from there and move a couple of steps to have this very, very nice flow.
Yeah, the 17 and the 18 are extremely similar. There's really only like some kind of minor differences between them, which is a little bit, I guess it's like more something you saw more often back in the day with these harder charts. Nowadays it's like less common to see two different charts for the same song that are so similar.
Yeah. And this is all that I learned from the Shake on Lake 4 when Tag was here, shout out to Tag. He was the one who made Fascination MAXX all those charts. And he also did the same thing with Zephyr as well. That's why it looked like the 13 and 15 looked a little bit similar to one another.
Yeah, it's always interesting. Like, so many songs in DDR have the artist is some like pseudonym, and then you have to like really be kind of like deep in the lore to know like, oh, actually it was made by Tag, or it was made by this person. It's always kind of interesting to find out that like deeper information.
Yeah. Diamond Blaze, yes, Tag did make the Fascination MAXX charts.
Oh, I guess you're talking about the charts, not the music. But,
Yeah, the music I believe was made by Naoki.
Okay, got it. All right, starting with Fascination MAXX here.
Yeah, let's head right into it. All of them having very high scores. And Selzla opting for mirror on this one.
I'm not sure exactly which section that would be for, but a lot of the time mirror versus non-mirror is kind of just like personal preference. Maybe there's one or two patterns that you just find a little bit easier to be on mirror, not on mirror.
Of course.
Nobody can touch you. Show 'em all.
This iconic section with the runs and stops. With the, I guess they're not stops, little slowdowns. Piano slowdown.
Yeah. And even after that one miss, everybody's still tightly close together.
You're blowing us away. 200
Wow, and
combos.
now it's even more close together after that one section.
This gallop section is really deceptively difficult.
Yeah.
I think it's much harder than it looks because there's so many places where you either have to like weird crossovers or interesting flip switches.
Yes, and not only that, the note and also the note colors are off as well because it has been changing BPMs over and over again. Not only that, we're getting to the part where you have no idea what the colors are at all.
This is so close. This section could determine a lot right now. This is a very tricky section.
Oh my gosh, and still first place is...
Oh, wow, it swung a lot there. Andrew was a little behind and now it's a little ahead.
Yeah, at the same time, it really was that 12-note section to have one crossover there. That can also throw players a lot, but so far, 5-point difference.
It's still really close between Boyo and Andrew, and we have this little tricky slowdown here.
Oh my goodness. Get any better than this.
Guys, hold your breath. It really comes down to this big stream at the
Down to the
end.
very end. Oh, Boyo clutched it out at the end. The crowd goes crazy. Wow. Fascination MAXX is just so tricky. Every single one of those little slowdown sections, it's just all it takes is you get 5 perfects in a section like that, and that can be the difference.
Absolutely.
But great showing. Great scores from all 4 players in that. I mean, like Selzla in 4th place with a 992, that's still a great score. But now we're going to be moving on to Selzla's pick.
No, Paulo's like, nah, I'm done. I don't want to play this. I don't want to play this.
Boyo and Andrew both unified in their desire to not play New Millennium Challenge.
Yeah, especially that especially that Andrew is now going to play the second time. Oh,
But I think if you're Selzla and you see that though, you're pretty happy about it. Like that's what you want to see, is you want to see everyone else be miserable to play your song pick, I guess. It's a good sign. After the first 3 songs, the pool standings, Boyo has 19, Andrew has 18, MBX has 7, and Selzla has 5. So Boyo and Andrew are super close. But we still have 3 songs left. And I definitely think, it would not surprise me to see Selzla have a great performance here on his pick, New Millennium.
I mean, judging by the reactions of the 2 players who are pretty well into the lead, we're gonna be seeing some point chases. But I believe in our players.
I do think New Millennium is a chart that it's definitely very difficult, but in some ways it might be. I think for players at this level, maybe it's more scary. I think like if they really try their hardest, I think they all could do well on it. But it's just so consistently. The patterning is so, it demands so much of you so consistently that like even if you can do it well, it's just kind of exhausting. Like,
Yeah, there are like very few charts that are harder than New Millennium, but even so, yeah, one of the toughest.
Yeah.
Second.
All right, let's see what everyone's got on this. I expect to see a lot of double stepping of these patterns. Especially when you have 4 songs to play after this. Like, you can't really afford to go 100% all out on this. You still have to play 2 more songs after this.
Do no wrong.
Yeah, still anybody's game, like start to finish.
You're gonna break the meter.
With these patterns.
To see it. 100 combo. You can do
I think I'm seeing Poyo and Selzla doing maybe not every single turn, but a lot of crossovers, and I'm seeing MDX and Andrew opting to double step like the majority of it.
Also at the
which makes
same
sense.
time, despite Andrew playing it playing this now twice, I think because he played it once, he now knows where the patterns are to stop and all those quick techniques that you have to put in there. So I think because of which he does have a big advantage right now.
Yeah, Andrew actually has a sizable lead. I mean, this is so hard that 25 is definitely like an amount that can swing still and the rest of the song.
But can he make it because the stamina is now really getting to him?
As I say that, it swung like 40, he exited like 1 second. Now Selzla is ahead by 13. But there's a lot of songs on.
This is Selzla's choice.
But MDX putting up a really good fight despite complaining about not wanting to play this.
Yeah, MDX is out.
It's really neck and neck between Andrew and Selzla right now. As I say that, Selzla's up 30.
Even so, he can still go either way with these massive patterns.
Yeah. It's getting pretty close to the end. I think Selzla's likely to hold on here.
Yeah, it's now just extending. Nowhere else to run.
But that was a great showing.
Wow.
It was a great showing by Selzla on his pick, but also a great fight put up by Andrew on that.
Of course.
That was excellent.
Wow.
Like Andrew, thank you, never again.
Yeah. But PBs from Andrew and Poyo on that, and Selzla only 6K behind PB also.
Yeah, this is that second place finish really is going to give Apollo an even bigger lead.
Yeah.
I mean Andrew a bigger lead.
Yeah, we have 2 songs left here. I believe. Yeah, I believe this is updated for the first 4 songs, and it looks like Andrew and Poyo are still really close. Andrew's at 23, Poyo at 22, Selzla at 13, and MDX at 8.
Okay.
And the last 2 songs we have are
Throwout and
Throwout, which is Andrew's
Sakabana.
pick, so I would expect him to do well on that, and then Sakabana. Yeah, I don't know. It's really close. I could see it going either way. I guess maybe like Andrew has a slight advantage given that his pick hasn't been played yet, and you'd expect him to do well on that. But it's hard to say on these songs with how good these players are.
Revolution. Which language do you want to use? Enter your pin. Enter your pin.
Yeah, so I think it'll be Throwout first. Throwout is a little bit, it's a newer 17. It's a little bit faster, it's 190, but not like crazy fast. A lot of it's kind of straightforward, but it has a few tricky stops, and it has a few tricky parts where you have to kind of know to go along with the crossover. If you try, like there's a couple parts where there's some long freezes, and if you don't cross them over, you end up doing some really awkward double stepping.
Okay. Well,
Good ends.
here's your interesting fact about Sakabana. This is what it's translated to.
Check out these cuts.
Spotted flowers. That makes sense based on the jacket.
Yeah, and not only that, so Bana is actually pretty close to another one. It is just 2 dots on a hiragana going from ha to ba, and hana meaning flower.
Interesting.
All right, heading right into it. Throwout.
What a great song.
Yeah.
It's really high. It's very upbeat, but like, I don't know. I feel like I'm like always psyched to play it, I think, whenever I hear it.
And it was the first out of many with the vocal audition song contest. And this is the only one in H3. Probably because they wanted to get more of it for DDR World to celebrate the 25th anniversary. Yeah, the 25th anniversary of DDR has a lot of things going on. There was the anniversary sports trial, unfortunately had to be gone. Babylon's Galaxy was another part of it. And then the 3rd edition is Throwout, being one of the being the very first of the contest songs. And it was pretty cool to see that now that DDR World is available, it now has a challenge chart.
Yeah, like in the last, I don't know, year or two, there's been a lot of challenge charts getting added. Especially like lately, they've been adding some challenge charts to even like really old songs, at least in this Grand Prix, which, especially for high level players, like all these players, I think it's really fun to see like new hard charts for these like old classic songs. I mean, Throwouts not really an old classic song, but
Yeah.
it's always it's great to have more hard content. Keep challenging yourself with.
All right, let's head right into it. So getting right into this, we're going to be starting with a slowdown after some drills.
Yeah. Slowdown is relatively easy as long as you know that it's coming. It can be a little surprising when you haven't seen it before, but I don't expect it to pose a lot of difficulty.
And then exiting the slowdown, there's going to be adding some more 16s there to disguise as the 3 notes. Here we go. There they are.
Yeah. And then we'll start getting into the sort of the meat of it. Step jumps and then little short runs. A couple like tasteful crossovers in there, but nothing too crazy.
Yeah. And step jumps, too.
Yeah, there are a lot of step jumps for sure. Right now, very close between first, second, and third. Oyo a little bit behind top 3.
Oh my goodness.
A lot of broken rhythms here.
Eric is getting even more broken rhythm with some 3 notes and 3 notes
rhythm section.
Yeah.
You're gonna break the meter.
All right.
Can't wait to see it.
Of course,
There's
Choir's
some
going to
tricky
repeat
stops
again.
here.
Yeah. But it's all telegraphed.
Yeah, it is. If you know that every freeze is a stop, then it's not so bad.
Nobody can touch you. Show 'em all.
All right, Andrew now having a bigger lead,
Yeah.
but it's still single digits.
We're about to see this tricky pattern where you have to cross over on these freezes or double step, but like they all handle it pretty well.
The speed is shrinking, still in the single digits.
It's looking pretty good for Andrew on this. But
Yeah, especially with these tricky patterns at the end,
yeah, I think Andrew's got this one.
of course. Great showing, wow.
Very close between second, third, and fourth too.
Moves to school the world.
29 perfects by Andrew.
That's really incredible MA on a 17. And it was really close overall in the pool between Andrew and Koyo, but I think Andrew's definitely going to be really happy to have taken first on that one. I think I'm not quite sure if it will be enough to guarantee he makes it out, but he's definitely in really good shape to make it out of the pool here. With 1 song left. Which is MDX's pick for Sakamana. I think from A3, maybe it was even like at the beginning of A3 that this came out. Maybe somewhere.
Technically, yes. This is a song that got released on the A3, but it was this was released in, as another Bimani song for 3 separate Bimani games before finally coming to DDR. This was during when DDR was still H2O Plus and still had these types of songs in there.
And it's quite fast. It's 200 BPM for 16, but it also has, as you can see from looking at the BPM, 134 to
There,
01.
yeah,
It has this very abrupt slowdown to 134, which is like 2/3 of the full speed, and it's extremely hard to feel rhythmically like what the right tempo is going to be. That's 2/3 of what you were doing before, and there's really nothing that like preps you. You kind of just have to know, like be able to feel it internally what it is, and then adjust very quickly.
Yeah, it does come out of nowhere.
I'm guessing that given that MDX picked this, he's probably practiced it a lot and he's probably going to be able to handle that really well. But on a 16 like this, I think that's a spot where I would expect we might see some swings. Given that the rest of it is straightforward-ish. I think it also has a lot of step jumps, maybe.
Oh yeah, it has so many. It actually has quite a lot of them.
Yeah, at 200, which is pretty fast for step jumps.
Here comes the party.
Starts off fairly chill, where I think I can't remember if the step ups are all at the end or whether there's some step ups before the slowdown. Oh, there's some step ups.
Yeah, when it comes to 16th or 15th like this, you're not gonna expect so many 16th notes out of them. It really is just to those. It really is just to the step jump and maybe just a few little bit of 16th triplets
I would kind of expect, it's quite close here. I mean, Pollo and Selzla are like very slightly ahead, but it's almost nothing. Like 5EX is not a lot on this.
All right,
have to see what happens
all right,
here.
here's the slowdown.
Wow, they all handled it really well. That was very impressive. Selzla and
Everything's
Pollo.
so close. I mean, even fourth place is now 6 or 7 points away. Amazing.
Yeah.
It is still anybody's game.
I mean, really, like, one of these sets of step-ups can easily decide this.
Yeah,
Step-ups are also patterned, like, it's kind of like a crossover. I think most players are not going to cross it over. They're going to push switch, but it's tricky to push switch at the speed, especially on the up arrow. They all handle it super well. But now MDX is actually in first.
Yeah. Olio is still not letting up, even in fourth place. It's still single digits.
Yeah, it's still really close between him and Selzla.
Yeah, but now first place is still trying to get so close. It is just separated by a couple of marvelouses.
I think MDX is probably going to take it here.
Oh my god, it comes all down to these last couple of step jumps.
Wow, nice job by MDX on the pick.
Full combo? Hell, that's where it's at.
And agree. Wow, 35, yeah, 24 and 1 from MDX, 35 PSC for Selzla. Also
I don't know
really
if
nice.
MDX, man. I don't know if MDX actually played this chart before, but so far, I mean, it says best score is 0 being deciphered,
Yeah.
but so far,
It's always a bit hard to know. Sometimes, you know, people are playing. Yeah, I mean, hard to know whether someone's 0. They might have practiced the card at home or something like that.
all right. Yep, Andrew wins once again, and we're gonna get a second one.
And we're hearing that
Yeah.
2 players are advancing from this pool. Andrew, who got first, and Pollo, who got second. So congratulations to both of them.
Absolutely. Congrats for all players giving their hardest. Some really close matches between them.
Yeah, that was really great to see.